Here we have it again. A new patch is already live, bringing 3 major hero balance adjustments to the game, including 2 flying units. Alongside these changes, the developers have also dropped new skins, which are expected to sell insanely well. Plus, a small Easter egg hinting at the theme of the upcoming Battle Pass skin, and yes, it looks like it's gonna be the Hellfire Gala. Oh, don't forget about the Twitch drop event. It's back, and this time it's featuring the color skin for Adam Warlock. But let's address the elephant in the room. Were these changes really needed, especially for the Human Torch and our favorite brain genius in Tin Can, Iron Man? Many people are already complaining about this update, mainly because it doesn't include any nerfs for certain meta dominating heroes. Others are confused about why these buffs even exist, and after all, this is a hero shooter game, so why make this game easier for people who can't aim properly? But here is the real reason. Every game, when a specific meta starts dominating, needs adjustments. Not necessarily because the meta is broken, but because variety is necessary to keep the player base engaged. This patch is a subtle hint that Marvel Rivals want to bring back the flying unit meta, just like the beta version of the game. That's when Iron Man was the most dominating character in the game. Before we dive deeper into the meta shift, let's take a moment of silence for our boy Thor. Because not only did Storm steal his hammer, but now she is stealing his spotlight too, with her new skin. Meanwhile, Loki, as usual, betraying him once again, gets himself a yet polished perfect skin. Storm skin. I was really expecting this to be a legendary because it is clean and has a perfect MVP animation with those blue sick hairs and an epic model design. And just in case you are wondering, that's not Mjolnir. It's Stormcaster, which was forged by Loki. I don't know why he did that again, but he is Thor's sworn enemy, also his brother. Loki's President Skin. The skin deserves the title of the most perfect skin in the game. That too, a epic skin. The details, too good. The majestic cane he holds, chef's kiss. And Loki's insanely high win rate and pick rate, which is going up because of his popularity, is gonna make this skin sell a lot. Since Loki is the core part of the most powerful team comp in the current meta, I expect him everywhere with this skin. Enjoy the gameplay in the background while I explain the paths and break it down a bit. So the new update only changed 3 heroes and still people are complaining about the update. Like, why not do it a lot? Change someone else like Iron Fist, no more, who are still a bit too much for the meta to handle. But as the words in the post specify that these changes were made to the game to keep the current team compositions more enjoyable, less painful, less frustrating in both competitive and tournament scenarios, and also suggest that these things will set a better stage for upcoming new heroes who will be soon in the game. I will talk about that a bit later because that's the point of the update. So, these optimizations were brought to the game to keep it stable and dazzling with players. And these adjustments look like this. For Human Torch, they increased his primary attack damage to improve his solo takedown potential by reducing the travel time on his primary attack and also increase the number of cluster he throws with his primary attack. For the Golden Avenger himself, he is also getting new buffs. The direct hit damage was nerfed, but the AoE damage was seriously buffed at this point. For both the forms, the Armor Overdrive is also getting a serious AoE damage increase from 55 to 60. That's too much. He will be pressuring people a lot around the corners, on the places, on the area of control, so he is gonna be a bit pain to deal with. Now this will make Iron Man a more area control oriented hero, shifting his damage focus from single target to AoE suppression. That looks horrible at this point, but we have to deal with it cause it's already into the game now. So these buffs may feel totally unnecessary, but they are here in the game for a reason. And the reason is the current meta. And also these flying units were seen played so less throughout the higher elos and also the tournaments cause They were too easy to take down. And also in case of Human Torch, he was just the one hero who felt too weak from the day of his release itself, which is totally opposite to what happens normally. As when a new hero makes his debut, he is supposed to be a power grip, which attracts new players, but this was not the case with Human Torch. And the meta I was speaking about, which is dominating from the day one and feels totally unfair to play against, and was the most played team comp even in the tournaments, it's this: Groot, Doctor Strange, Bucky, Namor, Luna Snow, and Loki himself. So why not nerf these characters then? That makes more sense, right? But just take a look at their pick rates. These units are the units with most pick rates and a high win rate, which means balancing these heroes means facing the loss and disappointment of a huge player base, who are the consistent players of this evolving game, which means they will lose a lot if they do so and change these heroes. Instead, what they planned was to improve those heroes who can bring in a new way to play this game and also can counter this domination, as both this unit with their new buff can provide more value and contest the area with less risk. Providing more value, by which I mean was staying more alive, as this current meta consists of heroes who can contest the area pretty well if they stick together, which means there was a desperate need of more CC damage that could stagger these controls. So it's true that there is going to be a new meta shift to the team comp, as now you will need more firepower to take these two heroes down from the sky, or else getting steamrolled by them is the only fate you can face. Still, for some, this will feel unfair, but that's how the games and their transitions work. Sure, the buff for the dagger was totally unnecessary at this point, but we can't do anything about it now. Also, speaking of the buffs, with the perspective of the upcoming heroes, these changes actually make sense, as they are gonna add a hero with heavy daddy issues and also an unexpected result of affair between Tony Stark and Jarvis. Yes, I'm speaking about the Ultron. This unit, when gets into the game, is gonna make the backline feel so unsafe, uncomfortable, as according to the skill description, he is gonna be a healer made for the dive units and will show a solid synergy with the dives, and also a hero that will demand firepower, as his healing drone will be more like Penny's nest that must be broken to balance the ratio of our attack power and their healing. Now, this makes a bit sense, as Human Torch and Iron Man both can flank and get a better angle to shoot these drones and also protect their backline, because now the AoE damage they have is more painful for the divers. And if you are the Panther who always lurks behind the opponent healers, you know how painful it is to deal with these flying units. So that was my point about what we are gonna see getting changed in the game and what these hero changes are hinting. I will also be making a video about the Hellfire Gala and what it actually is, and can we expect a new map coming to the game, along with which heroes are gonna get included into the battle pass. And if you really like this content and my perspective of the game, please leave a like and subscribe for more such content that will provide you some more unseen insight and unseen changes that needs to be addressed. Hope you enjoy this content and you will be enjoying some content that I will be posting on YouTube in the upcoming dates too. So I'm Handoff signing off. Bye bye.